Well, welcome to another episode of Midlife Moxie. I'm Gail.
And I'm Jen.
And gosh, Jen, spring has sprung across at least the South, right?
Oh my gosh, here too. Well, Virginia is the South. I do that all the time. Sorry. Yeah,
Depends
it's
on who you're
beautiful.
asking.
The cherry blossoms are blooming, the flowers on the trees, the allergies are killing me.
I got lipstick on my teeth. Y'all ever have that problem?
No,
Teeth
Gail
everywhere.
loves lipstick.
It's
Gail
what you
is
do,
all about
ladies.
lipstick, like a work of art. Look at her.
There
Okay.
you go.
Well, if listeners, you're
Well,
not seeing us on video. If you want to see that, you can hop over to YouTube and see her clean routine.
yeah, you want to see how to clean your teeth. So, the thing is, when spring comes, we all get that itch for revival and change, and
Mm,
especially when it comes to fashion, even though fall is the fashion season, we all must admit, that is the
100%.
clear
Sweater
fashion
weather.
season. But spring has its own little season. And so we notice with our clients, one of the biggest things they start asking, and they start in January, some of them, some of
Right.
my stock clients do, they're just like, what are we going to do for spring? And although we've talked about the Pantone colors and keying off those alike, people want to understand how to go to their closet, what to add to their closet. But for you, I want to just jump right in with they want to know what
Mhm.
colors to wear, especially if there's someone who lives over in soft, warm, deep.
Yeah.
The colors are typically dirty and remind us of fall. That's what we even tell people. They're colors of, those fall months and that warmth and that dirty earthiness. And how do I wear that for spring? And that can get themselves really worked up about their palette if they feel limited. But I think we can agree palettes are not to be limiting, they are meant to be expansive and give you the best. It's not about taking away. So, what do you say about that, Jen?
I say that your palate is your palate, but I
True.
always do that. I can't like, I'm not good like you, like just palette your palette. The palette is your palette. But in your color style, those color palettes are designed to be flexible a little bit. So, especially if you're someone, so here's why people ask the question. In your color style, the deeper palettes like soft, warm, and deep, um, soft, cool, and deep, right? The range of colors tends to be darker because of darker features. The light pastels in general tend to wash you out. So we kind of avoid those lighter colors, right? So naturally, when it starts to get warmer outside, you naturally want to wear lighter colors. And now, oh no, my palette doesn't have any light colors. And so that's why people ask, because when it comes to cool weather, we never hear a peep.
But the
So
truth is, every palette has some lighter colors.
right, exactly. And so that's my point. So yes, when you get your palette, it is, it's designed to kind of give you guidance and don't go too light and, go not too dark or very dark, whatever. But you can always go a little lighter. Now, do you go pastel pink when you are someone that's soft, warm, deep? No, that still may be too light, but you can always go a little lighter. You can also go a little brighter. If you are someone that tans, you can go a little brighter because the pigment in your skin is saying I can handle a little more. I can handle a little bit more. So the brighter, in my opinion, kind of resolves that you can't wear that pastel pink you see in the stores everywhere, but you could definitely still have some fun with those colors. You don't need to match perfectly to your color fan. Oh, I know it's going to drive some people absolutely crazy, but it doesn't have to be a perfect match. It just needs to be in that range. So if you find a color that's slightly lighter than what you have in your color fan, it's okay. And you love it, you put it on and it works, wear it. It's okay. It's okay, especially if you can get some color, if you get some
If
color
it
into
meets
it.
the criteria, it's something that works for your
Yeah.
chroma, temperature, and depth. Now, what I think when I'm styling people, one of the biggest differences I see that can really bring a wardrobe into a new season are where you move around your palette as far as neutrals go
Yeah.
and what you use as a neutral.
Yes,
Because
true.
I have if I have someone who say bright, warm, deep, and they love that really chocolatey brown, while that looks great with some deeper colors in things like wool in the winter, that same brown can be amazing in linen. And then she's going to pair it with a
Right.
lighter orange because if you're in the deep category, Not only can you wear the deepest colors, you can wear some of the lightest colors because you typically have contrast.
Right.
So, especially if you have dark hair, which almost any dark, most of us do, you can wear those very light colors. And when you bring those up around your face, which is another key element, I think, is where you wear the color, then I think you bring a freshness of spring and summer to that.
True.
Then add in some spring and summer accessories, and we have a whole new look around the same color. We
Right.
may have wore that dark chocolate brown with some deep blues and some brown suede boots and some heavy gold jewelry in the winter. But come spring, we take that same color, put it in a linen skirt, a linen shorts, even a linen pair of pants, put it with a peach top, some coral jewelry that's a little bit lighter weight, a nice, beautiful tangerine or coral handbag, some beautiful strippy sandals. Same color looks totally different. So I don't believe we have to go outside of our palettes. I think we've been told by the industry we do. But of course, I just want you to buy more clothes every season. But to think,
Yeah, I mean, you're bringing up a really, really good point, and that is, I mean, I talked about color specifically, but you're bringing up texture and fabric, and you are, I mean, the thing is, even with the Pantone colors that are trending right now, it's not like they're all super light and breezy. They're like, there's
no,
some dark neutrals in there that you would easily convey to autumn and winter, but they're coming in for the warm weather. And again, there's a big difference between a navy blue, dark navy blue, wool sweater and a dark navy blue linen dress. Completely different,
mhm.
same color,
Color
different
will even
climate.
look different in different fabrics. Like
Yeah,
if you take that same navy or deep inky indigo blue and you put it in like this popular fisherman sweater now that has
yeah,
some weave to it and some
yeah.
openness, and you put a cream color tank under it or a white color tank, that feels totally different than navy and gray together in
Mhm.
wool and cashmere in the middle of winter. So sometimes if you're one of those people that like you're really definitive in your color type, like there's no, because we know some people go a little more towards the middle. I'm pretty definitive in my color type. And you could say, Gail, you wear the same colors all year long. It's how I wear them. And I dip more into my white, being a bright, cool deep, than I do my black for summer. If there's a choice, I'm going to choose white over black. So, but if you're more soft, a little bit not quite as on the ends of the spectrum color wise, maybe you go from wearing camel to you go to wearing sand
Right.
or
Yeah.
tan or buff or just an off white. And that can totally change the feel. That and the weight of the fabric, the texture, the weave of the fabric can change the entire look. Now, I have another theory. We're just racist against some colors, but right there, I just think it's funny because there's some colors people just notoriously, and I've been working with women for over 30 years. So I've heard a lot of people tell me what colors they cannot wear, and they bring up the same ones, and they're wrong.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yes.
What
Yes.
color do
The
you
ro-
think is a bad name?
Oh, colors that get a bad name.
Mhm.
Orange,
Definitely
um, purple,
yellow.
yellow. I was
I'm riding hard for yellow right now. I don't know why. I'm just like to be her defender, but I feel like yellow is a beautiful color. And the one thing I love about yellow is I think almost anyone can wear yellow
I do
unless
too.
you have golden olive skin. Then she's not your friend. But it's this tiny segment of people that have golden, really true golden olive skin, or very, even some of the ones with the green gray olive. But otherwise, the
But
rest of it,
even then, because we talked about this a little bit in the last episode too. Someone who has golden olive skin, I think the further they get away from that true yellow and start to get into the golden yellow, it's like golden yellow. Some people read it almost orange in some ways, but it's not. I think that's will look beautiful no matter what. Someone with that, like you said, that gray green, that more greenish quality, that's probably the one type of person that I would struggle putting on a pure yellow on them. It's something about that, although I'm happy to be proven wrong. But other than that, I would agree. Everyone has a yellow. And I think what's misleading is when people think of yellow, they think of that canary yellow, that bright, sharp yellow. And that is hard to wear, but not every, but someone like me, I look so much better in a lighter, more golden,
Buttery.
creamier, buttery yellow, where someone
Because
like
I look
you
better
is
in
like more
a
of like an
really
acidic
bright
lemon
meringue
sharp
yellow.
yellow,
Lemon,
right?
I call it lemon meringue yellow is my
Yeah.
yellow. It almost has a clarity to it. But even like this trending butter yellow,
Yeah.
that is good on so many people.
Yeah.
And what color says spring and summer better than yellow?
I know, right? The
And
daffodil.
if you're like, okay, I see what you're saying, but which we a lot of that. I know what you're saying, but I'm special. Everybody likes to think they're the one special exception. That always cracks me up. But if you feel that way and you just can't bring yourself, or you say it's okay to just say, I just don't like yellow, just don't.
Yeah.
But I will say yellow dances with a lot of eye colors because a lot of eye colors have a little yellow in them. A lot of your greens, a lot of your blues have that little touch of gold in there,
Yeah.
and that yellow will just dance like they're doing the tango. But if you just can't bring yourself to that, pop on a yellow accessory.
Yeah.
My clients this weekend wore a beautiful print top, some green slacks, but she brought out this new yellow bag and it just brought the whole outfit to life. Throw in some yellow jewelry, a pop of yellow on your feet, even if you just can't bear it around your face, it just makes you get the highs. But orange, you're so right. And people have a lot of emotional feelings about orange. Like my Aunt Susie always wore that color and I hated it, or she used to kiss me and get it on my face.
It's a polarizing color. So I would say yellow is a polarizing color, either you love it or you don't. Orange is also in that factor. And I think it has a lot to do with cultural references and just what we just basically what we associate with those colors. Like for yellow, just we'll go back to yellow first for a second. Yellow is the brightest color in the spectrum. It is bright. So I think that for some people's personalities, the idea of wearing such a bright color and they're thinking the whole thing, right? Not just a pop of an accessory, is just very not them. I just that thanks, but no thanks. I think with orange, I just think there's a lot of references to it that people just kind of shy away from. It's a very polarizing color. Either you love it or you hate it. People think of Halloween when they think of orange, right? They don't it,
But they're
it
forgetting about coral and
well,
peach
yes, but people don't think about the word orange and coral
and
in the same category like you and
terracotta
I do because we're total geeks about this
and
stuff, but a lot of
peanut.
people don't do that.
You got to remember these colors live on a spectrum, and there's
Right.
probably an orange for you. I'm bright, cool, deep, and there's even an orange for me. It's more of a what I call a tangerine, like blood orangey red,
Yes.
a reddish orange. But it's out there, and when especially when I'm tan, I actually look great. It makes my green eyes go bonkers.
Right.
And I think we just need to open our mind a little bit because my clients that when the ones that come to me that we have the most difficult time with their styling is the ones that are closed minded. The ones that come to me open minded or they're willing to have their mind pried open with a crowbar, they get the best results.
They do.
And they have this experience that allows them to see themselves as beautiful and new in different ways instead of stuck in a box of that one color they think they can wear. And I think a lot of people get stuck. They get really stuck on a few best colors and they're afraid of everything else. But when done well, when done right, most of us have broad palettes, way broader than we think.
That's true. Change is hard. Think about it. If you've been living your life for the last 40, 50 years, you're defaulting to black, not knowing and unsure of what to wear. So you only go to the same two colors, one color because you got a compliment from some handsome man and in a bar somewhere once upon a time, and the rest is like blacks and blues. When you suddenly say you are going to look amazing in orange, you can appreciate that that's shocking. That's like, oh my God, no. But Gail has an amazing way of getting people to accept that this is your full palette and we're going to start here. And I just want you to put it on. We fought. We've actually fought in a store where she's literally physically trying to put
I'm
put a
glad
top on me
I'm
that
bigger
happened to
than
be
she is.
orange. That happened to be orange, and I bought it.
I
It's
was right. I
pretty
like to be right.
fantastic top. Yeah,
But
it's great.
that's the thing too, when you bring in a professional and you bring in someone who's some objectivity about you, and we none of us are completely objective. I tell my clients where my bias lies though, and I try to be aware of my bias and not let it play out in what I'm doing for them. But we as trained professionals, we can see you in ways you can't see yourself. And it's not about beating you over the head to wear certain colors. It's like we see your beauty, babe. We see it, we see the potential here, and you're cutting yourself shy. And I think too, um, another area that we want to talk about is prints, because
Yes.
if I have one more person that tells me I don't know about those prints, but let me back up and say one thing before we move into prints. If you're a person, because we get this a lot, some people seem to think that lighter, brighter colors are less serious. And I
Mm-hmm.
hear you and I get that. And if you live in a town like maybe New York or DC, where you wear a lot of what I call the concrete colors, black, gray,
Yep.
navy, beige, taupe,
True.
I get that you may have a profession that requires some levity as far as not looking like a clown or not looking
Right.
like a runway. However, you can take some of these more serious tones and just add a little color somewhere, even if it's with your jewelry or a handbag or a pair of shoes. That is perfectly appropriate and still can have the gravitas and the seriousness that your job or your situation
Right.
requires.
Because
So,
looking polished, that go and you walking in with confidence takes what you're wearing to a whole new level. And it's not, eyes aren't going to be on you because you look ridiculous. Eyes are looking on you because people probably can't even articulate, but that person knows what they're doing. They're pulled together, they're polished. And that is huge, especially when you've got a room full of men, right? I know how many professional women, and we say professional in that, a little bit in the corporate world, a little bit out there in the office, having to dress, and they are speaking to a sea of men most of the time. And it's so easy for us as women to want to dress like them to fit in, to blend in with the black and navy suits, to blend in. And I don't think there's anything wrong with choosing items that add a little bit of feminine
because
energy.
they have this fear
Color.
that they're not going to be taken seriously as women, as we
Yes.
often are not. But I
Right. So we're not
say,
saying walk in with pink ruffles. Don't do that. I mean, unless it's a creative environment, and that's absolutely what people do. But at the same time, it doesn't mean you can't be stylish. It doesn't mean you have
I
to
mean,
wear
you can't
black
wear
every
pink
day.
pump.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you can't wear a pink pump and match it to a pink necklace.
I
That's what
know.
I would do. And I think, though, I would like women to overcome some of their fears about stuff. If the suit is cut right and
Hmm.
it's a professional suit, it can be more colors than you think. Now, maybe it's
Yes.
not going to be super loud. That may not be appropriate for the environment if you're going into court, or I have several women in the medical field, but you can still have some color. And it actually, color makes people around you a little bit happy sometimes. And maybe you're the one
Okay.
that brings a bright spot in an otherwise gloomy situation. And it can just be a touch, it can just be a little something here and there. So, I also think while we're on that subject that some women don't want to be noticed and they're afraid that wearing color is going to have them be noticed. Here's what's happening, babe. You're being noticed already, but for the wrong reason. We're
Yeah.
all, so if you're going to be noticed, let's get you noticed for the right reasons, or dress you in such a way that it's so good that you blend into the environment in a positive way rather than sticking out in a schlumpty dumpty way. Because people think if they're slumpty dumpty and dark colors sitting in the corner, nobody's noticing them. We notice you in a way that's not positive.
That's true. I'm also going to add something that's going to it's going to contradict you a little bit, but that's not my intention, which is you have
Okay.
someone that tries something new. All right. It's the first time they've worn pink ever. I'm going to wear that. I don't know. And the reaction that most people will say is, I don't know. What are people going to say? Like, I don't know. And the reality is that just about everybody else in your world is thinking the exact same thing about themselves. And people aren't necessarily as concerned as you might think about what you're wearing that day because they're doing the same thing. They're thinking through their
100%. That's
stories.
not a contradiction. I'm just saying that sometimes people think they can hide by not being noticed at all.
Yes,
You've probably been noticed for the wrong.
exactly. It's just that take a risk, do something. It's not going to be as devastating as you might think. And I think
And
that's
that's such a good point where you bring up Jim, because if you're going to experiment with something that makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable, wear it around someone who's supportive of you. Wear it
yeah,
around your best girlfriends who are going to really love it and just going to be lit up by it. A good example of this is like my brother is super critical of me. He does not understand me and he thinks I'm a kookadoodle. He's an engineer. He's quite serious in a lot of ways. And we just have totally different styles. Like he would never be caught dead in the things I wear, the colors I wear, but he's been wearing the same khaki pants for 4 years too. So we're just different. He has his gifts, I have mine.
yeah,
But I full well know when I come out in one of my more aggressive, edgy outfits, he's going to have something to say. I don't care.
yeah.
It's almost a compliment when he says something. So if you're a person that's really bothered by that, wear it first around somebody that's going to fill your tank with compliments and affirm how good you look in this. Don't wear it around someone who's jealous of you. Don't wear it around your critical friend, critical Connie.
Critical
Wear it
comment.
around your supportive friend and ask her true opinion if you're really
Right.
insecure. But don't ask opinions from people that you don't like the way they look. Um, because
True.
people are bad about that. They'll take an opinion from their friend who looks like 1972 ran over her with a car. It's just like don't go to that person for advice like you just don't go to someone who's in bankruptcy for financial advice.
Right.
So if you need to give it a spin, do that. Wear it amongst people that love you and are going to tell you how great you look.
And honestly, people that in general, people that are going to be truthful and honest and supportive, meaning if it doesn't look great, you want them to tell you gently also
Yes.
because they want you, but that's because they support you and want you to be your
If you
best.
work with us, you're going to look great. So
Although
there's
that's obvious, but
that.
I'm just
There's
saying.
that. And I want you to know too that other people have biases
Yeah.
because like men have different biases than women. I find a lot of men like women blonde, even if it doesn't look great on them, they just have a thing about it. Um, men like look sometimes they're a little sexier, a little more body con than what some of us might like. That's just fun for us as a female. So first off, please yourself.
Yeah.
Also know that like when I'm going to dinner with my husband, I'm probably going to wear something different than I might wear when I go to dinner with my girlfriends because I'm making a different statement. I'm going to wear something different when I'm in the city than when I'm at the beach. So appropriateness of location and situation,
Read the
all
room,
that.
right? Right.
And it's not that my husband cares. It's just I want my husband to think I look great. So I'm going to choose something I know he would
And I
enjoy.
think that right there is, oh my gosh. I mean, I wish I could just bottle that up and hand it out to everyone. When you're thinking about what to wear, it is it is all about how you feel, but also, like you said, what are you trying to say? What is that expression that you are trying to convey? And it is different based on the room, the audience. Going to work is a very different thing than going out with your partner, boyfriend, husband, girlfriend, whatever. You you want to feel attractive. When you go out with your friends, you want to feel attractive, maybe in a different way, obviously, right? Maybe not trying to get picked up, but having that idea of what you want to say, I think is really valuable when you're designing your wardrobe and you're designing the outfits that you want to wear. Do I want to feel sexy? Do I want to feel confident? Do I want to feel powerful? Do I want to feel feminine? Like that, right?
That's part of what we do is helping people find their voice. And when I'm onboarding a new style client, one of the biggest things we spend a lot of time talking about is what's your lifestyle? Where do you wear your clothes? Because if you don't ever do X, you don't need clothes for X. But if Y is a very big part of your life, like I've got a couple of clients who are big cruisers. I've got some that travel the world and they go places where they have to cover their shoulders and their knees and things like that. I've got people like I play pickleball and I actively shop for pickleball clothes. to play pickleball
Yeah.
because I'm not just going to pickleball. I want to pickleball looking like I'm a stylist. Like I was looking last night, Johnny was tennis courts. Can you stand it?
Oh
it
my gosh, how
yeah.
floral are those?
Oh, they are wild. But
Yeah.
I like to wear a skirt to pickleball that someone comments on. It's who I am. It's what I like to do. So we believe in building a wardrobe, just like you're wanting to build it for seasons. You want to build it for your palette. It needs to fit your lifestyle and where you're going in your clothes. But before we run out of time, I really want to talk about patterns and how big of a role they play seasonally. And this is something that our Style Masters group, and if y'all don't know about Style Masters, this is our membership, and it's Jen's love and joy. She loves Style Masters. And what it is a place for you to explore color and style and beauty once you know your colors. Um, because we're not that company that just hands you a sheet of colors and says, thank you very much, goodbye. That's just the beginning for us. We offer all these other services. We have the Facebook group for Style Masters. We have this membership. We have styling. We have beauty. We have makeup. We have all these things that show you what to then do with those colors, which I think
Right.
is the only one that offers the completeness that we offer because we just don't think it's any good to hand someone a sheet of paper and tell them to have a good time.
Good luck. Yeah, exactly.
We
Because your
drill down in
personality carves out a space in that palette. The seasons, not color now seasons, like, our warm weather or cool weather carves out a space in that palette. Gray hair will carve out a space in that palette, so we help you customize it further. And this month we are
pattern.
helping our members really just embrace the patterns that are coming in for spring and summer and who can wear them and why. And I think this is so powerful because I feel like a lot of people assume that once they have their colors, they're only looking for solids and
There's a
they're only
lot of
wearing solids,
confusion
and that is
around
so
patterns too.
limiting.
They get really confused on how to determine if a pattern is the right scale. It's the right
Right.
what do you call it?
Temperature,
Well, temperature and
contrast.
contrast. That's the word
Mhm.
I was looking for. Contrast. That is that kind of day. But in Style Masters, this is what we do with our membership. We take them by the hand. They work together and with us. And every month we have a topic. Like some months it's just, okay, all we're talking about is the color blue.
Yeah.
But we're helping each and every member to go on a journey to find her best blue and why certain blues work for her, what colors to pair those with, how to style it. And I
Yeah.
think it's that depth of exploration that really makes your color style, even though our palettes are different, our color theory is different, but that really takes it to a new level. And that's why we have people who've been working with your color style for 5, 6, 7,
Yeah.
8 years because we always have new information for them and they're always on a color and style journey and they've learned a lot, but they want to keep learning and they want to know how to wear the newest colors and the newest styles. You don't hear that from other color systems. It's a one and done.
Yeah,
We
and I
believe
think
in the
that's a little crazy because we're always evolving, right? Like we talked about the color orange a few minutes ago, and the reality is that if you just learned your colors, you might be like, I don't care, it's on my palette, I'm not going to wear it. But a year from now, as you get more confidence in yourself and you've tried new things, orange doesn't seem so scary anymore. And you're like, well, maybe I will. Maybe I will try that. And all of a sudden, a little bit more opens up for you. So it's not a one and done. You
and
are
if you talk
always
about a place
changing.
for feedback,
Yeah.
community in our Facebook group, that's what they do. They'll put their looks up and ask people's opinions, or
Yeah.
they'll put up a shirt and say, which of these should I get, this blue or that blue?
Right.
And the community gives a lot of feedback, and our members are so educated. I'm shocked sometimes that I'm like, well, I can't give any better explanation than that. You go, Susie Smarts,
I know.
because they give some great feedback because they've truly embraced the system and learned
Yeah.
so much
Right.
about color and beauty. And then they'll dip into, okay, I understand that. I understand what to wear, what lipstick and makeup to wear with that. And we go into beauty and we go into
Yeah.
beauty trends and we go into beauty as you age and we go into the gray hair. Now, where do you shift? So if you're not ever checked out Style Masters on our website, y'all, it's very inexpensive to be a part of this and really take your journey further.
Yeah. It's a
That
lot of
said,
fun.
this month is about spring and summer patterns. And patterns is one of the places, again, we get a lot of pushback.
Yeah.
People really have a lot of misconceptions and fears around patterns. And I am just going to say it. I think patterns are magical, and I will die on that hill.
I agree with you. Patterns are magical. I feel like I've embraced patterns more since you've joined your color style and helped run Style Masters. I honestly was probably part of the group that was sort of like, I'm just going to stick more to the patterns because it's or solids because it's easier. But now I see things differently, and it really does just adds magic. It can
It does.
transform an entire look simply by putting on a pattern. For me, I today I'm wearing this pattern
Two of the
top,
most
right? And
transformational
yeah.
things people can add to their closet are patterns and third pieces. That is those are tenets of my styling. All my style clients know, and the ones who embrace that are the ones that are absolutely the best. Because a pattern can revive something that's ordinary.
Mhm.
It can tie two other colors together. It can bring a brightness up around the face like nothing else. It can dictate seasonally weather.
Right.
It, they can just do so many things. They can also be an inspiration. One of the style equations we teach is you take a pattern and you pull one color for, say, the slacks. Say if it's a pattern top, you pull a second color for the shoes and accessories. I know that sounds very simple, but a lot of women, that is not innate. That is
Yeah.
not their giftedness to understand how to put those colors together. But I
Yeah.
can take it apart scientifically and mathematically with a pattern and give them something that really works. And they step out. And y'all, when you step out and you've used a pattern and pulled those colors and you've got this head to toe cohesion, you will turn heads in the right ways. It is
So,
just
question for you, Gail. When you're helping your clients build out their wardrobe for the warmer weather, would you have like a formula as to how many patterns they should have in their closet? Is there like a rule of thumb, or is it just whatever works for that person's
no, because
personality?
pattern really, as much as pattern is related to color, it's also related to style. And each of our style types that we talk about in your color style has patterns that kind of correlate. Like your classics, they're going to love a basic floral, a paisley, a stripe, a plaid. But your boho girls are going to love some of the more
Mm,
artisan patterns. Your edgy girls, we love a geometric, a polka dot, oversized under. We just like it extra. And then you've got some people that don't care for them all, like the uber casual and the athletic gals. They don't love it like other people. Um, and then our romantics, they just want beautiful florals,
yeah.
beautiful soft ditzy florals, watercolors, things like that. So the I look at who the person is a lot because I think the patterns should really reflect your personality,
Yeah.
probably even more than the color, because nothing is weirder than putting on a pattern that doesn't speak to who you are. Like I, I despise, for me, ditzy florals. Despise. There's
Oh,
not one
yes.
tiny little floral homesteading house on the prairie prince. Not for me. Never going to be for me. Not yesterday, today, tomorrow. I don't even think I liked them as a child. They're not who I am. But you give me some graphic flower that's about a foot big, plastered right in the middle of a white dress, and I am here for it all
Yep.
day long.
Yep.
So I forgot the question now. Spring. Okay. So what we can ask ourselves as we go into spring and summer is what can we add that's going to perk up what you already have? Because you don't have to have a spring wardrobe and a winter wardrobe. Now, some
Right.
of you live in very, very cold climates, but you get a great shift in temperature. I understand a lot of your pieces won't work both, but say you take something like this behind me. This is a dark denim jacket. It's part of a denim suit, the Canadian tuxedo. That suit where I live is a year round. And what I put it with is going to greatly determine. And this is again why I love prints because they can take the same pieces and completely change them. And if you are limited on your wardrobe, invest in a few good jackets, good bottoms,
Right.
especially like in your best neutrals, and then go and get some inexpensive tops. I'll just tell you honestly, I shop for even some of my most high-end clients on some very inexpensive websites. And you know
This,
which ones I'm talking about.
yeah. This right here was like, I think it was $7.
Yeah. You
And
can
it's super
find,
cute. It's got little puffy sleeves and a little
yeah, like you can find inexpensive tees, inexpensive turtlenecks. and they will go with a very expensive suit and completely change it for the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
So I think I like to, you say, what do you do with your clients? I have a meeting with each of my ongoing clients that have me on retainer. We have a conversation about, okay, you've seen the spring palettes, you've seen, because we introduced that to our membership, and the people that ride with us, they get all the spring colors and styles because we give it to them. They don't have to pour over magazines. Another benefit of Style Masters. And I say, so you've seen it. What are you thinking, Susie? And she'll tell me which one she likes. And I'll tell her what I'm thinking and what I'm seeing in the marketplace. And we decide kind of where we want to go. This is where intentionality really matters, Jen. Each season, after I start working with someone, to be clear, when we first start working together, I'm usually working in 3 or 4 colors because I'm trying to get some cohesion in her closet.
So a very limited palette when you first
Very
start.
limited at first, but then as
That's a good piece of advice for anyone out there when they're like approaching the next temperature range for, spring and summer is don't go by the rainbow. Focus on just a few set of colors that work really well together and with your best neutrals. And we keep using those words, best neutrals, because there's neutrals and then there's the ones that you can wear as a top and a bottom, which gives you so much versatility. And that limited palette seems boring, but it can be foundational to a really creative wardrobe, just from its
100%.
simplicity. Yeah.
So I'll usually add no more than 1 to 2 new shades for them per
Yeah.
season because that's how you keep it cohesive. Because if you just run down to the store and buy the new colors they're offering you, it's not going to match back to what you already have. So we're very intentional of where we step to next. And it's kind of like little octagonal squares, like in a beehive, like those little hexagons. I have my group, and then hexagons fit together. And they have multiple sides and they fit together in multiple sides, like in a puzzle piece. That's the way I build out a wardrobe. So I have a conversation. We decide based on what's trending, because here's the thing. Some of you say, I don't want to be trendy. I just don't want to be. Okay, don't be trendy. But here's what I got for you is that what is trending is what you're going to be able to purchase this season. Some colors will always be in the marketplace. The big sellers, you're always going to be able to find tan's gonna be there. Khaki pants gonna always be there. Navy's gonna always be there. But seasonally, retailers will bring to market the colors that have been forecasted. Sometimes they don't bring them all because they realize that's not going to have width as far as its desirability for people to purchase. But what's seen in the stores can be determined by the trending colors. So you got to play the game a little bit, whether you like it or not. Unless you're shopping resale or vintage, then you're going to find whatever. But we make some very intentional choices. We look at their palette, we look at what's available, and we make some intentional choices of, okay, you started wearing we put you in camel, teal, and coral, were 3 key colors to your wardrobe. What naturally ties into that? We could probably step over here and add a little of that butter yellow, or we could go a little bit more into, I'm trying to think of a color I like. I try to think of my client somewhere I went with them. Maybe we go into a brighter orange for summer. We move away from coral into a brighter orange that still ties back with those blues. So It makes sense. And that's the way I encourage you. It's a new concept for you if you've just been walking into a store and buying whatever. Walking into a store and buying whatever is how you got where you are now. And I had a client this weekend. She was sending me pictures from a store, and I wanted to reach through my phone and choke her. Well, why are you obsessed with this brand? She was shopping a brand that does not make a lot of clothes in her palette.
Right.
And I had to talk her off the ledge about a garment. I said, what are you going to wear this with? And that's the question you should always ask yourself.
Yeah.
Now, like I told her, if you love this and it looks so good on you, and there was nothing wrong with the color of the garment, it just did not make sense on what we had done so far or what we're doing now, because she had nothing in her closet that was going to really look good with it. She would have been just putting it with a neutral and it would have been very sad. And it wasn't an inexpensive piece. It wasn't super pricey, but I mean, it was not like it was $5. Shoot, take it home.
Yeah, take it. What the hell, right?
And so I had to have a conversation with her. Do you want to have to buy some things to go with this? If you love it, like sometimes I find something I just fall in love with. I'm like, I'm willing to buy the shoes, the top to go with this. I want it that badly. That's fine.
Right.
You're trying to build cohesive and add to what you have. These are the questions you've got to ask standing in the store.
This is a really good reminder for us to keep saying it. whenever you're looking to like refresh your wardrobe, add to or edit what you already have, is the first intention is to keep things cohesive. Because if it's not cohesive when you started, that's your first goal. And and I know some people, they feel like oh, now that I know this, I'm gonna open my wardrobe and it's gonna be full of all these colors. Well, it can eventually, but you should be able to walk into your closet and pick up, an item and be able to say, okay, I can wear it with that. If it's a little colder, I can layer it with that. And I love it when I wear it with X. Like, you should be able to do a little of that. And if you can't, doesn't mean you get rid of it. It just means, okay, what's the problem you're going to solve when you go shopping? Are you are you looking now for something? Honestly, it makes shopping a lot more fun when you have an idea of a few things you're looking for. Because now
Mm.
you're on the hunt versus you go into a store and I don't know. And this is why people don't like shopping. It's overwhelming. This is why I hate going to grocery stores. Grocery store shopping for me is the worst because it's so overwhelming with all the
Yeah,
different
my
brands.
clients go into a store and they know what we've already talked about. They know we have a plan. They know what kind of colors we're looking for, and they
Right.
do some of their own pieces and they send them to me. But they also, the ones on retainer, get to ask me before they make a mess. The ones that are not on retainer, but they've worked with me and they're in style masters, they have the skills to know when they
Yeah.
go in a store, does it meet this criteria?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't meet this criteria, what does that mean? And does that mean I'm going to spend more money? And I've seen people go in who were on a very limited budget, make a very unfortunate decision, and wind up with something that didn't serve them well. And now they have no budget for anything else. And that makes
Right.
me sad.
It does make
Um,
me sad. This is very sad.
so let's talk about these prints. And what makes
Yes.
the
I was gonna say
print
before we run out of
feel,
time, we should definitely give some people some takeaways from the
I
prints.
think background is what we have to address first and foremost.
Okay. Okay. Let's take what I'm wearing right now. So I know listeners, go look on YouTube so you can see what we're wearing. But if this background was white, would it be good for me? Why?
Jen is warm and solid white is not her best color. And also, but we do want a light background for Jen because a light background with some medium to deep tones creates contrast. And when you're brighter, you usually do better with a good amount of contrast.
Right. The other thing too is that usually with white as a background, it will typically cool down the pattern. So even if there's warmer things on here, like we have a little bit of a combination of some like neutral pinks and stuff like that. But let's just say these were coral flowers. With the white, it suddenly cools it down.
Yes. 100%.
And for me, it also almost it creates a little bit more contrast in the pattern, a little bit more sharpness for someone like me. And now it doesn't feel right anymore. And it's probably super cute on the mannequin when you walk into the store. But for me, I have to go, that is just not going to look cute on me. Put it on someone that has a little bit more
And
intensity, a little bit, you know,
I try to explain this too because people get very confused when they go into a store and they see some colors that are in their palette.
yeah.
They're like, okay, this color, and this color are in my palette. Yippee, I can wear this. A white color
That's a reasonable
is
assumption.
reasonable, but it is wrong. Um, if you take colors that we consider to be somewhat universal, a true coral,
Yeah.
oil blue,
Mhm.
a true turquoise, colors
Yep.
like this that can be worn by warms and cools, and you take them, like if you took coral and turquoise and you put them in a garment with a white background, suddenly that entire garment feels cool. If you take turquoise and coral and put it in a garment with a camel or a tan background, now those exact same colors
Right.
now feel warm. And
Right.
our clients have a really hard time with that. Um, if warmth is added to universal tones, just remember that now makes it warm. If coolness, like white, is added or a pale pink is added to universal tones, the whole thing is going to feel cool.
Yeah.
So try to commit that to memory. Now, does that mean you can't have a print that has both cool and warm tones? No, I'm talking about those universal shades that can go with the direction. But if you take a color that is innately cool and another color that's innately cool, and then it's got a little warmth in it over here, still probably going to read cool. You got
Yeah,
to say, what is the dominating um, color and dominating shapes in this pattern?
right.
What is taking over? What is driving the bus here?
Now,
Now,
not everyone can see that easily. Like we say it all the time, take a step back and what do you see? Is it dominantly warm or cool? And a lot of people really struggle with it, which is why I think they break it down into this kind of analytical process. But like Gail just said, it's look at what is dominant, and it could be the background. It could
yeah,
be that, like in my opinion, I think there's a couple of dominant things happening right now, right? Like this is the background's cream. It's not like it's covered up. You see a lot of cream. It's right
that
up to
makes
my
a
face.
difference too.
And
How
then
much
we've
of
got
that
these
background
these
is showing?
pinks that would be arguably cooler pinks, but with the cream, like you said, it becomes a warm top. So you
And that
can't pull things
green is a little
apart
bit
like that.
warm, and
Right.
it pulls it towards that. It makes it wearable for someone who's warm. Now,
Right.
I think the size of how
Yes.
much color's in there, but like there's some colors that are horrible on me. Like if a print has mustard in it anywhere, it's probably not coming home with me. So if
It's
it's
probably not cool enough anyway, though. I've rarely see a pattern that has so much coolness that you could ignore
occasionally
mustard.
they do it, and I look at that retailer and think,
Well, why did you do that?
what were you think? Who is wearing this? So just because they made it doesn't mean you have to wear it. You reject those things and they won't make it
Yeah.
again.
I do want to say though, I do want to be clear. Right now, we're talking about the patterns that you wear closest to your face because we're talking about things that are harmonious with your tone. So I have warm and cream, right? Gale, cool, and white, for example. You can wear, you have more flexibility wearing things as a bottom, but just be careful depending on your intention. If you're trying to build a cohesive wardrobe, if I had a pair of pants, if Gail had a pair of pants like this, which she wouldn't, but if she did, she would still struggle to find something that goes with it because it won't have enough contrast and intensity that she needs. Like it won't go with her wardrobe. So just be thoughtful and mindful that even if it's a bottom, it still might be a little bit off with the
But I
rest of your
would wear
suit.
that in a cute skirt, no
I can
joke.
totally see that with your pot pink, with the pink top.
Yeah, and
But
I
never
would
mind.
pull one
Gail
of the
makes
pink.
anything work. She's magic. So
Um, the the thing too, people have trouble judging is that background. The background is very much something that can make it feel soft or
yeah,
bright. Because
yes,
the closer together the colors are, the less contrast you have, and the more soft the garment can
right.
feel. So you want to address that, Jen?
Yeah, I feel like so when you look at yourself, right? You have a level of contrast about you. And it doesn't have to be exact. Don't like overthink it too much, but you're looking at the difference between your skin, your hair, and your eyes. And for me, for example, I'm a very low contrast person, low to medium. That at the highest a medium. So you want that same kind of vibe with your patterns. You don't, if you put on me a high contrast pattern, a black and white geometric something, it would just, besides the color being wrong, it would just dance off of me because I don't have that naturally. Gail, on the other hand, she puts something like that on, she'll sing. It'll look absolutely perfect
I
on
want the
her.
highest amount of contrast you can put.
Right. So when we say contrast, we're saying the difference between how light or dark something is. So this right here, we've got a lot of light, a little bit of medium, fairly low to medium contrast, which is perfect for me. Absolutely perfect. If these little flowers were dark blue, with this, it might be too much. I don't know.
And
It's
that's really going to give you,
yeah,
it's really going to be a driver on whether or not you wear a print or print wears
yeah,
you.
right.
To have a contrast in a print will wear you. For
Contrast is key.
me, too mousy of a print will make me look washed
That's
out.
right. That's
So
right.
really judge by your amount of brightness, your amount of contrast to find that right print.
Yeah,
Really look at the intricacies of the print. Also, when we look at prints, we want to look at size of the print. If
yeah.
you're a larger person, little ditzy prints are going to look ridiculous. And if you're a tiny little petite girl, you want to have some moderation to going too big with some of these huge florals and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, when I flip through magazines, and we see, certain manufacturers that have beautiful print dresses and tops, but some of them have very large prints and they put them on these rail thin models. And I think that's a great looking dress, but it looks terrible on that model. And I mean, it's just that's the style of the designer. That's what they want to showcase their clothes. But I look at that and I think people, someone if someone sees themselves in that dress and they're that thin, it's going to wear them. It won't, they're not going to be down a runway doing this. So
Well, the
just pay
print
attention
doesn't
to a
even
little
get a
bit.
chance to play out. There's not
Yeah.
enough space for the print to even be
That's what,
seen.
yeah, it's like, huge flower or something like that. And I think, well, it's really cute, but it's not as cute as you might think it might be once you put it on. So
The
something to
print can bring
consider.
new freshness. When we talk about spring and summer, adding some beautiful flowers, adding some combinations. Also, prints like polka dots and gingham are very germane to spring and summer, and that can just brighten up anything. And yes, you can wear polka dots even if you are soft, and even if
Yeah.
you're, man, we're going to be talking about that. I've already pulled some things for our Style Masters
I'm
members.
so
I can't
excited. We're
wait.
going to be talking about mixing patterns a little bit too in Style Masters. I can't wait.
And you can still do a little tweed and a little plaid. It's going to be worn differently. It's going to be done with lighter colors. It's going to be done with different textures than maybe some of what you saw in the fall. It's not going to have that same heaviness. And one last thing I'll say as we go into spring is I love monochromatic looks. Sometimes it's a little hard to get the colors right. I think in winter, I mean, it's, we don't always make head to toe, but in summer, you can take people seem to like a lot of color more so than sometimes in the winter, people revert to their browns and blacks. But like, don't be afraid to take your best neutral, your best light neutral, or your one of your best signature lighter colors and do it head to toe. Like
Yeah.
I just got in. Now, if anybody knows me, y'all know I'm not a skinny girl. I'm skinnier than I used to be, but I'm not a skinny girl. I just got a solid white swimsuit. And
Oh, how
I
cute that's going to be on you.
am in love. It is a bright Arctic white. It has no print. It has no seaming that's any different color. I mean, it could not be more white. I get very tan.
As I
And
said, that
it's
looks
simple
amazing.
buttons. It's just like a mallet top with some shearing to hide all my bulges. But I'm so obsessed with this bathing suit. And most people would think, no, I cannot wear white head to toe. It'll make me look fat. I'll drop something on it. Get over yourself, girl. Get
I
over yourself.
agree. I
Wear
agree.
all white, wear all cream. It can be dreamy in these summer months. There's a lightness to that that just feels very summery and feels very temperature and seasonally appropriate.
Yep.
Just choose the right shade for
That's
yourself
right.
and then just do it. You'll be able to find that this time of year. There, it really is out there, and it can be so stunning and chic to just like I have no problem dressing in all white. I love it. I could do that most of the season. In fact, I have to stop
Yeah.
myself because at this time of year, if something's available in white, I'll buy it. I love white. I love it on me when I'm tan. It's easy, it's fresh. And, if you're dealing in your perfect white, I can find a lot of matching things in that. Then I can add color to it as well. So that's a
Exactly. It's
great,
a win.
simple way. It's just, I really think those neutrals and those patterns are the way to do it, Jen. And then turn up your lipstick a little bit, add a little bronzer to your face. Tone down the heaviness of your foundation. Give yourself a glow. Look a little bit more um, less caked up, maybe is the word. So it's almost a little more imperfect. Let your freckles show a little
I
bit.
agree. Yeah.
It's just a look. It's a look.
Okay, so before we wrap up, because we're almost done, what is one thing, if someone wanted to go right now out and do something to give an update to their wardrobe, what would be one thing that you would recommend to them?
I would probably say get a great pair of slacks in a
Okay.
lighter neutral because in the winter, I know what y'all doing. Y'all trying to wear those black leggings everywhere, and some of y'all don't even need to be wearing black and certainly don't need to be wearing the leggings. But get a great pair of slacks or a skirt. I'm a skirt girl in the summer. I wear a lot more skirts. So, like this time of year, I'm looking at little cute French terry skirts, denim, chambray. That's who I am. Know who you are. Know what you like to wear. So if you're a skirt girl, go do this with a skirt. Like I just got in the cutest little French terry skirt, little matching jacket. I'll wear that till it falls off of me. But just one pair of pants can really, in a lighter shade, can really bring your wardrobe into the season.
Oh my gosh, you almost kind of stole mine, but I'll just
Oh no,
I'll tackle onto it because that's one of the key things I do for my summer wardrobe. If anyone's listening that's new to us or doesn't know, I do a lot of cruising, over the year and throughout the year. So even in cold months, I'm on a cruise. But because of that warm weather, I depend heavily on linen pants that are lighter in that color because then they go with everything. And linen can be dressed up. It could be super casual with flip-flops or sandals. I wear linen to death. And so even though, it'll be 90 degrees here soon, I still will invest mostly in some really great looking slacks and some casual ones and not so casual ones because I can get the most wear out of it. I get cold in the AC. I can wear a cute little strappy thing or a light sweater for going out in the evening, and I am perfectly happy. I don't nearly invest in shorts as much as I should. It's all about the
This is a great
light
tip. A lightweight
slacks.
pant, but just that little layer, especially if you're
Yeah.
at the beach and it's windy and breezy or you're on a ship,
Oh yeah.
just having a layer makes a difference, even if it's a light layer.
Yeah.
And there's so many washable linens out there and great stores you can get inexpensive linen at, like Quince. That's your tip of the day.
Yep.
Now, one thing we did not talk about that I would be remiss not to mention is shoes.
Mm.
Shoes can really make an outfit look winter or summer, and you've got to have different shoes for winter and summer. You just have to. Summer should be more open, it should be more strappy, and it should be in lighter colors. Black
Yeah.
clod
Don't wear
hopper
black
shoes
shoes.
are
Yeah.
going to ruin a summer look. Just absolutely ruin it. Can you wear black shoes? Yes, but choose open toe. Choose
I was gonna say I have a pair of really cute black sandals, and I know black's not in my wardrobe, but they look really cute on a cruise with long pants. So,
I don't know what to do
it's got
with.
a little sparkle to them. They're cute.
We'll chat about those. Those don't belong there. But a straight like sandal is fine, and open toe and peep toes are really in right now. So choose a sling back pump as an open toe versus your closed in, really
Yeah,
heavier shoe.
yeah.
Now, people always ask me, can I wear my suede in summer? It used to be a no no, but now we have suede sandals. So go ahead, girl. Just choose how does the overall shoe look,
Right,
summery or wintry.
right.
And you even see people like wearing versions of boots, but
Yeah,
it's a caged boot. It's an open toe. It's got some perforations. They're carrying that whole feel of a little booty into spring, but it's a different booty. So just don't ruin a beautiful summer outfit, lovely lighter colors with a clodhopper shoe. And
yes.
I call that ending with a thud. My clients know it and they repeat it back to me. I'm afraid that's going to end with a thud. What should I do? Like, here's the new shoe. And colored shoes
Mhm.
are a fabulous way to bring a pop to a summer outfit. A colored sandal, a colored ballet slipper, a colored sneaker in a pretty color that can change the whole feel. So
I
that's my
agree.
last big tip.
So many choices for the summer. So
Yes.
many.
So we hope you've been inspired to update your wardrobe for spring. If you need help, you know where we are at yourcolorstyle.com. And why not come be part of our community? If you like this, you get a lot more
Yeah.
in Style Masters. But until next time, go and get your Moxie on. Bye bye now.
Bye now.